Joining us now for more on the assassination of conservative commentator, Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Tomi Lahren, Fox News contributor, podcast host. Tomi, a horrific day. What's your reaction when you heard the news?
Well, Liz, like so many that have known Charlie for so long, I'm just absolutely heartbroken for his family, and I'm heartbroken for this country. I've known Charlie for over 10 years. I knew Charlie when he just started TPUSA. I was one of the first speakers that he had. We did a lot of events together. I've done so many Turning Point USA speeches over the years on these college campuses, and he's inspired so many young conservative minds and conservative speakers, and he supported us, and he had our back, and he elevated us when no one really knew or cared what we had to say. But Charlie, even though he was even younger than me, he always had such a vision. And he wanted to uplift all of the voices that were going to advance the vision, the America First vision. And I'm just so heartbroken for his family. And I'm just so heartbroken that it's come to this in this country. Conservative speakers, you know, I do a lot of these speeches, and it really makes me take a second look at the security situation, if there even can be one, when we speak at these events.
You know, he was just kicking off his America Comeback Tour at Utah Valley University. People are asking, what is America coming to? His job was bringing debate on free markets and limited government to college campuses, to open up colleges to debate. And now he's assassinated. People, you know, Charlie had said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence.
Right. And Liz, I got to say, you know, it's so hard because conservatives and speakers, when we go and do these events, we don't want to be canceled. We don't want to feel like we're turning them down out of fear for our safety. You know, we always feel like we're so invincible. We want to go to these campuses. We want to talk to young people. We want to debate and have dialogue and conversation. And we never want to say we're not doing it because we're scared. And that's how Charlie was. You know, he knows that he's got threats on his life. He knows that it's a dangerous environment when he goes to these things, that a lot of people have so much hate towards his message and towards him, but he did it anyway because that's how important it was for him. And he was so inspiring in that way, and it made us all feel so inspired to go out and do these events. And I'm just heartbroken that there's going to be, you know, so many now that probably won't be able to do these events. It's just not safe.
You know, reaction is pouring in nationwide from around the world. People worldwide are praying for Charlie, his family, and his children. President Trump posted, Charlie Kirk, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk, is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth of the United States better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by me, and now he is no longer with us. Vice President Vance weighed in, Press Secretary Leavitt, Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Speaker Mike Johnson. California Governor Gavin Newsom said the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. We must reject political violence in every form. Your reaction?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that there are so many speaking out, and I've seen a lot of folks on the left have really nice and wonderful things to say about Charlie, and that's heartening to hear. And, you know, of course, there's always going to be some that have horrible, despicable things to say. But I hope that we can all, despite political differences, come together and figure out a way that we can have dialogue, especially on college campuses. You know, Charlie Kirk was so inspirational, and his legacy will live on. What he's created, what he's built, the message that he has really been so responsible for putting out there and keeping alive, that will live on. And I'm just so sorry for his family. And I'm so grateful to everything that he and Turning Point have done for me in my career. And that's really all I can say.
The President Trump, we got news coming in just saying that flags have been dropped to half staff through Sunday evening. To what you're saying, Tomi, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis today stopped his press conference to say this. He said this is about attacks on a freedom of thought. That, quote, what happened today was an attack on the idea that we resolve differences through reason, debate, and elections. You know, that Charlie would debate on college campuses views that were outside what professors were offering or campus culture was offering. He was questioning and debating, and that is what America's republic is based on.
Right. And I would also say what Charlie Kirk would do on these college campuses, he would also invite so many conservative students who felt disenfranchised, like they didn't belong. You know, they didn't know where to go. They didn't feel like they had like-minded peers on their college campuses. And he created TPUSA, Turning Point USA, to give those young people a place to go and to have that fellowship and that community. And they would do tabling events. And there are so many students out there for TPUSA that they found such refuge in Turning Point USA, and they were able to find lifelong friends through that organization. His legacy will live on. Governor Ron DeSantis is exactly right. And I would also say that I would really hope that the folks on the left maybe stop calling conservatives Nazis, stop likening them to Hitler, stop, putting us in those terms. There are people out there that are unfortunately inspired by those words and those labels that you put on us, and they have real world consequences. So I would hope we could all take a moment to think about that as well.
News coming in. Police are still looking for the shooting suspect. Turning Point USA will go on. It's got a presence on over 3,000 high school and college campuses nationwide. Again, talking free markets, limited government, conservative views. He founded it at just 18 years old. He was the youngest speaker at the 2016 Republican National Convention, and he spoke at the 2020 and 2024 conventions. He had a wide reach on radio, on podcasts, and on social media. So to what you're saying, this will go on.
No, it absolutely will, Liz, and this is such an incredible organization, and we will all continue with the message, and we will all continue TPUSA in his honor. And I'm just so heartbroken. I can't say that enough for his family. But rest assured to all the folks that love TPUSA, this organization is built to last, and it will continue.
Tomi Lahren, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on.